there! You must be the new teacher who's been hired here at the beautiful outdoor college. My name is Curious Crow, and I'd be happy to give you a tour of the campus. Let's go! This here is one of our classrooms. Here's another one here. Now, you might think this is a UFO, but this is actually our fire pit. This is where we study language. I bet you're wondering how I could talk. This well-trod path is our phys ed space. And right here, some of our students have made an interesting sculpture in the art studio. As long as you're interested in exploring environmental inquiry too, I think you'll make a great addition to the school community. Now, if what you're saying is, hold up a sec, Mr. Crow, what is this complex thing you're talking about? What is an inquiry? Well, if you just asked that question, congratulations, you're doing an inquiry already. Inquiry-based learning is a dynamic process that builds upon students' natural curiosity about the world around them. It takes their questions and ideas and puts them at the center of the learning experience. Educators using this inquiry-based approach can encourage students to pursue their own questions by supporting them with tools, resources, instructions, and experiences that enable the learners to rigorously investigate, reflect upon, and discuss potential solutions to the questions that they have posed. Now that you know what it is, let's talk about why we here at the college think environmental inquiry should be a more common approach for learners. Honoring students' interests and questions can lead to much higher levels of engagement. When students engage deeply with the content because it is of interest to them, their learning is much deeper and far more complex. They use more elaboration strategies, seek out information, and reflect on the material. The inquiry process not only stimulates but also focuses the students' creativity, leading them to progressively deeper questions and a habit of critical thinking. In this way, educators can help students to become discerning observers, deep thinkers, and more innovative problem solvers. The inquiry model encourages students to take the perspective of others, work collaboratively with other students for problem solving, and as well contribute to communal knowledge building circles. In this way, students begin to see themselves as integral members of a learning community. And finally, the inquiry practice builds lifelong learning skills that go far beyond content mastery. Instead of focusing on information accumulation, students learn the important skills of interpreting, connecting ideas, and assessing the utility of information. Now you're probably thinking, that's great, but that's really going to spin on my schedule. How can I even begin to integrate it into my classroom? Well, as we explore this, I want you to keep the image of the circle and circular motion in your mind. Wow! This inquiry circle here will give you a good example of how you might incorporate it into your classroom. Let's say your students start with a question about something, an inquiry if you will. Give them the opportunity to explore this farther through their own research, reading, or experiential learning. From this experience, they'll probably develop some more questions and ideas of where to go next. At this point, it's good to meet in a knowledge-building discourse and reflect with your students on the process and next steps they can take for deeper understanding. Now, the great part about inquiry learning is that it can start anywhere along this circle. You can start with a knowledge-building circle, and from there, questions can be generated, which can then be explored. Or you could give the students an experience that could then generate questions and a topic of farther inquiry to reflect on. Now, the knowledge-building discourse we've discussed is an integral part of the inquiry process. This is where students will come together as a community to exchange ideas, theories, and refine their thinking. In the knowledge-building discourse, your role will be as facilitator of the conversation and discussion. This can be a change of pace. Now, if you're wondering where to begin the inquiry process, here are some ways you can spark some wonder in your students. Read to your students. I always love to hear a good story, and it just gets my mind racing. Here are some things I found called books. I don't really know how to open them with these feathers, but apparently they somehow fit thousands of stories and ideas inside of them. One of them is bound to get some conversations going in your classroom. As you'll learn quickly here in the outdoors, it pays to be alert.
What in the world was that? Michael, something got him. Something got him.
Keep an eye and ear open to pick up on spontaneous questions and comments from learners that can be used as stepping stones or starting points for farther inquiry. And of course, take your students outside. There's so much to explore! I'm a lifelong learner at this college, and every day I'm constantly finding new things to observe and wonder about.
Wow, look at this big pile of stuff. I wonder if it's sugar. Nope, it's not.
From the tiniest seed up to the rolling weather and seasons, there's infinite ways to spark the curiosity of all learners who explore with open eyes, ears, and hearts. Well, that brings us to the conclusion of the tour. I hope that I've convinced you that environmental inquiry is a beneficial teaching technique you can include in your own classroom. I'm confident that with your enthusiasm and creativity, you'll be able to inspire students and let their natural creativity flourish. If you'd like to learn more about how to incorporate the environmental inquiry process into your own classroom, make sure you check out the second edition of Natural Curiosity, a great resource for all teachers and educators.